Well, hello, good evening. God bless you. Hey,
Good
it's
evening.
been a minute. I haven't been on. Miss doing the holidays, but life be lifing. But I'm back, and I have a powerful person, a very special person that's on tonight with us, Carolyn Mosley. Welcome, Carolyn. How you doing?
I am wonderful. I am wonderful. How are you today?
I
Happy
am.
to be here.
I am doing great. I am doing great. For those of you that are watching it in the replay, invite someone. Tune in. I met Carolyn many years ago. It seems probably at least over
Yes.
10 years ago, and she has a very unique story for me. I live in Austin, Texas, and those of you that have been here for a while know the story of, and it's kind of gruesome because Carolyn's daughter, who was a cheerleader, a Trella, was killed by her ex-boyfriend or boyfriend, who was a quarterback in high school, got killed in school while they were changing classes. It's just amazing, the story. But to see Carolyn and what she has accomplished, and from that, she started the Otrella Foundation. I was made aware of teen dating violence. We hear a lot about domestic violence. We hear about, a lot of times is the men attacking the women, and really there's violence, domestic violence in all areas. I learned that when I had to go through here, it was called a place called Safe Place, who was started by the former President Lyndon Johnson's daughter because she told me that her one of her bridesmaids got killed in a domestic violence, got beat to death. So for her, she started in Austin Safe Place, which is now called Safe. And Safe Place is such a remarkable place because by her having the connections and being a part of the Secret Service, having Secret Service, she was able to use what she had to design that place really, really secure. And it's for women and families. So it has I really love what they do there. But when I met Carolyn, and she'll tell you, she sat down with her. I met her through someone, Miss Doris McDonald. I don't know if she's still around, but she said, "Hey, I have somebody I want you to meet." And I remember meeting Carolyn and been stuck like Chuck ever since.
Yes.
I remember, Carolyn, I don't know if you remember, you invited me back to your apartment. Everything in it was strange to me, but I know that when it's a setup from God, when it's a setup. So she invited me back to her apartment. Got to see some reenactments of the gruesome crimes on American Most Wanted. But I've seen the Ochoa Foundation awareness. There was an initiative signed by our former governor to start teaching teen dating violence in schools. So that was amazing because there was a representative, I think Donna
Donna.
Dukes. Donna Dukes pushed to get that passed in the state of Texas. So Carolyn has fast forward to 2024. Um, well, first of all, Carolyn, how long has that been since then? I know it's been at least, because we've been in Austin over 20 years. So I know we've been in Austin 22. So I would
Mhm.
imagine it's been at least 20. How many years has it been since that tragedy?
It has actually been 22 years. It happened in 2003. And well, it's coming up on 22 years, but it's been 21. We'll say 21. That it has happened. So it's been 21 years.
Wow. Doesn't seem like I've been here that long. And for me, it doesn't seem like it's been that long
Hmm.
because for me personally, and I didn't know her, I just know her through you, but it's still so fresh for me about
Hmm.
that. During that time, I've watched you. I've watched you grow. I've watched you be such an advocate for that. Uh, So the first thing is, instead of, did you go through bitterness? How did you turn your that tragedy into triumph?
I have to first say I turned the tragedy into, and this is going to sound strange to a lot of people, but I was so upset I could have blew up the world. My anger was so great, but I heard something the same day she died. It was 9 o'clock that Friday night. I heard something that the children were going to go after the parents, and it was just going to be a turmoil. It was going to get crazy. And I was like, okay, God, I'm the mama. Charlotte don't like violence, first of all. Me, myself, and I could roll with them. I ain't gonna even lie. I would have at one point rolled right along with everybody that want to go and do whatever. Probably would have called it. But that's not something Charlotte would have wanted. And I had to think about how can I make this better for everybody involved, because there was so many people involved, even people I didn't even know that she had gotten a connection with. So I said, okay, God, I'm gonna go up to the school and just talk to the children on Monday. Prayed about it all week. Finally saw Trella on Saturday, on that Sunday night. And I said, I can't have a war. I'm gonna have to find a way to change this anger into something positive. Something has to come out of this that's gonna grow to where my anger can be released. Okay. And Donna Dukes approached me and she said, let's talk about teen dating violence. And I told her I would talk to her that Monday evening, but I wanted to go up to school that Monday morning and just talk to the kids. And the words I heard coming out of my own mouth was like, Charlotte wouldn't want that. Let's have peace. So I turned the anger into a form of peace that would help others and support others to be able to come out of those type of conditions. And it became my fight. That became my fight. I fought for something good. I used that strength to support others and remove me, take me out of the equation. And in that sacrifice, I lost my daughter, my oldest daughter, because I focused everything on Trell and everything growing. And me and my oldest daughter didn't get an opportunity to heal together. So there came conflict with that, but my anger was trying to press toward helping others, getting it out of my ear, because I was hearing there was anger. Anger is powerful,
Mm-hmm.
but I turned that anger into a peace that grew, a peace that helped others, and a peace that became helpmate. And I connected with Safe Place at that time. A lot of stuff started coming forth, and I did connect with Safe Place and speak with them, let them know it doesn't discriminate.
That's right.
Teen dating violence, any type of abuse, it does not discriminate. It's open, it's there. And I want you to know right now, Safe Place is now called Safe Alliance.
Mm-hmm.
I stay very close with them. I get advice from them. I support them in what they do because they supported me. They've been there for me. It's things that has happened in my life. Only Safe Alliance know, because that's the kind of place they are.
Mm-hmm.
It's a safe place.
Yes.
The name fits. Safe Alliance. The name fits. And when I met you in all of this turmoil, when I met you, those conversations we started having, and you started speaking into my heart as mom, and you started not even knowing, you was telling me, Carolyn, get educated so you'll know how to even understand yourself. Think about who you, what you really want to do. And I did that. So I have to celebrate you for allowing God to use you in that way. Because people come in for a season, but like you said earlier, you're my lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
I heard you when you said that. And that is so true. So my growth process has been a lot of pain served in peace. And once I was able to get a very good understanding of, I went to school to take psychology and two at the same time, psychology and social and criminal justice.
I remember.
I coupled the both of them. People was like, even the people at the College Carolyn, it's gonna be hard. You can't do both of these. And I was working to a full-time job. But see, that was the anger. I had to stay busy. I had to do something. So I wanted to use it in the best way possible and not go out and hurt anybody. I'm
Hmm.
just being real. And that's what I tell people on a daily basis. Be honest and real with yourself so that you can make sure you're walking in the best way possible, that you're not hurting anyone, that you're not judging anyone. Because I tried to help my daughter's killer. I did. I tried to help him in many ways. But sometimes you can't help people.
Yes.
And I had to learn that the hard way, not just with him, but with so many others that I've tried to help. And sometimes you can't save everybody.
That's it. That's it. The
And
question.
that in itself is very painful to me.
Hmm.
It's very painful for me. So right there, that's where I have to move myself because I know right now I'm not the one that person needs.
Hmm.
I have to remove myself and let God place the person in that person's life that they need to support them so that they can move forward and not I won't be a hinder.
Right.
A lot of people don't get that. When you're in a relationship, I'm talking friendship, associate, business. If there's some pain, and I call pain stress,
Hmm.
depression, hurtful thoughts, communication when it's miscommunicated and you not wanting to go and clarify, sometimes clarification settles everything. I had to learn that.
Wow. Well, quick question.
If I miss, okay, quick question.
Yeah.
If mhm,
Yeah. Going back to kind of share with those that are watching, kind of your background, the things that you shared years ago of what why you instructed your daughters to recognize um, violence or control, and a little bit about your background. Fast forward to where you are now,
okay.
so people know that there is hope.
Oh
That's never.
yes, yes. My background is before Trella died, I was a serious crack addict. Let's just start right there. I was terrible, but I was one of those what they call functioning addict, meaning I can go and hit it and go right into work, and it wouldn't bother me or anyone else. They wouldn't even know it because I functioned off of it. I
Hmm.
was on $1,000 a week, and so I was doing so much, and I started buying and buying and buying. I was like, "Dang, I'm buying a house." I started realizing I was buying a lot. Till one day, my children came to me and they said, "Mama, we need you back. We've been throwing away some of your stuff." Like, what? Y'all didn't even know what my stash is. They were flushing it, and I didn't even know it.
Wow.
They were flushing. They were saving their mom. So I got with my best friend, and I can say her name on here, Nancy, Nancy, Nancy.
Oh yeah, I remember Nancy.
That's still my girl. We just came from a cruise, but I talked to her and I said, "I'm gonna need you to keep children for me because I'm gonna need to go get myself straight." I left my girls with her for 60 days. And she told me, we was talking on the cruise just a couple of weeks ago. And she said, "Carol, we was talking about it." And she said, we couldn't see you for a while because they said you was having a hard time. I
Mm.
just found out that I had a hard time coming off of it. I just thought it was easy because I went in there and I was gone. I didn't have a thought of it. But she reminded me it was a rough spell for me in there. Couldn't see my children, everything, all the withdrawals and everything I was going through. And when I came back whole. There are some times when in the past you're going to have thoughts. but you got to move forward.
Yes.
Find something to replace those thoughts. And that's what I did. It wasn't easy. Just because I'm here today don't mean it was smooth. You relapse, you come back, you relapse. But at that time, I didn't relapse. I haven't relapsed since because that was the time I was done. I got done and
Mm-hmm.
I moved forward. And then I felt like, family was against me. I felt like friends was against me, even when I came back, because everybody was still accusing me of being that person.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
was done with it, but they wasn't.
They had to see because you've been
And
done with it before.
not even that they had to see, they just didn't believe it because I was so strong in it. There's no way she clean. Not her. Not Carolyn. Really, y'all? Come on. But I was clean and I had to relive being dirty through family and friends because they couldn't let it go. Like if
Mm-hmm.
I come up missing, you know, if I come up missing, because sometimes I just need to have space. I need to go and connect back with Carolyn. And when those moments come, I don't tell nobody. You know that, mama.
Mm-hmm.
I don't tell nobody. I'll be missing for 2, 3 years. But most people will say, well, she done relapsed and she's on the streets. But the ones that I'm with, because I'm always with somebody that knows me when I'm off to myself, there's always somebody that knows where I am, but they're not going to tell you.
Right.
I might even be sitting in the living room when you're talking to them. Where's Carolyn? She back on them streets, isn't she? See, that was the life I lived. The accusation, always accusing. But I lived past that. We can all live past that because you know what you're doing. I knew what I was doing. I was actually sitting in someone's living room one day, and someone called that person because I had actually moved in with this person was staying. I asked them, I'm gonna let me stay here 6 months with you. This person let me stay 6 months. It wasn't because I couldn't get a place to stay. It's just that I needed somebody in the house with me.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to explain that to some people, but there's people with that illness. You just don't want to be alone. You just need somebody there. So every now and then you can talk to them, you know. And I still had my own place, but I stayed over there with her. And people was like, well, y'all pray for her. She back on the streets. People like, oh, I seen her do such and such. I'm like, but you know what? I don't hate them. I don't dislike them. I love them the more. And the reason being is because hurt people hurt people.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Without
just,
even knowing it. Without even knowing it, we do that.
they don't know, and I'm not saying excuse a lot of things and become complacent about a whole bunch of stuff. I'm just saying be selfish in your love. I love me. And when I was doing all of that work, I did love me, you guys. I did. I did. But I didn't love me like I love myself today. I was pushing love, 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 love. But I didn't have the opportunity to feel what I was pushing because I was giving it to everybody. And I always said, oh man, I want that kind of love. I want that kind of love. But guess what? I got it. I just need to connect with it myself. And I did. We all have that. And so after I was clean and life started getting very, very well for us, my daughter got killed. And I was like, I just got clean 2 years ago. We just got good. We're starting to live better, feel better, do things together. I'm focused. I'm at home. I'm cooking meals. I'm retired. I'm at home cooking meals for the family. And I told Trell, I said, Trell, I'm gonna go get a job, part-time job. Then I cut that out. Then she came to me one day saying they was hiring, and I went up and got a job. But my baby got murdered. And all of my rehabilitation did come up in my mind. Not to go back to the drugs, but to go back to my street life back in the day. See, back in the day, before trouble.
Before Christ.
Yeah, okay. I was something. I had a nickname of Cotton. I was a madam, I'll say it. I'm not proud of it, but I'm happy of the life I had to where I am now because it taught me some things. And that taught me that I wasn't right. And I was using my pain negatively with that. See, I had to learn Carolyn. See, Carolyn didn't do good all her life. Come on. I am not a good person all my life. I'm one that you probably won't turn the corner when you thought I was coming. And I didn't say when you saw me coming. I said when you thought I was coming, you won't turn the corner. I was that person. But when you needed me, I was the kindest person you ever want to need.
Mm-hmm.
And I was the kind of person don't mess with anybody I love. And this was my street girls, my street boys, especially my children. And then here go a boy, he killed my daughter. I said all of that to say this. This boy killed my daughter. Walking in my house, painting the room with her, doing this family. I accepted him and everything. And you go and kill my daughter? Boy, do you know who I used to be? Is what I wanted to say. But what I used to be, I asked God to set that person down.
Come on now. That's it.
Set that person down. We don't need that one right now. That's the wrong example. Wrong example.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to have to show me, educate me in the word on how to proceed, how to move forward. Because if I go backwards, I'm going to be in jail and a lot of people are going to be dead. And not even by my hands. And I was like, God, you've set life up for me to think like that. That thought process needs to change.
Mm-hmm.
I am now a representative of you, God. I don't represent me no more. I don't. My life is totally sold out. Okay? Never thought I would say that. Not curling. I'm sold out. Proudly to God. And with that said, that has been my lean on. And a lot of people won't understand that. But follow us as we follow Christ.
Mm-hmm.
See us as we see Christ. Understand us as we understand Christ. Because I'm not the one I want you to see. I want you to see the God in me.
Wow. And the God in you, I remember, went to see the young man that killed your daughter. Those that you listen, you heard me right. She didn't take revenge. She took it to God, but only God could do that. And tell the audience, if you're comfortable, about your very first visit. I know you've seen him more than once, but your very first visit to see the young man behind bars. She got a job. I remember her working in the criminal justice system. Now, someone took her daughter's life, but the God in her had her to get a job in the criminal justice system so she could keep up with him, not for revenge, but to make sure he was okay because he was a child. Someone's asking how old were they? Trella was, I believe, 16 and Marcus
No,
was
Artrella was 15 and Marcus was 16.
when this
Yes,
happened.
ma'am.
Yes, they were in school.
And I can say this. I went to Sheriff Hamilton. Mind you, I went to school for social and criminal justice and psychology. And I went to Sheriff Hamilton and I said, hey, man, I'm her mother. I need to be locked up because I couldn't save my child. I need
Mm,
to serve some time. I need to serve some time. I need to serve some time. I need to have some type of punishment because I wasn't there for my child. I didn't support her. I mean, it's not, I wasn't, didn't support her in past and present, but at that moment, I was not there for her. And I felt as a mother, I need to serve some time for that. There needs to be a punishment. There needs to be something. And Sheriff Hamilton said, Carolyn, come on now. No,
That was your
no.
grief. That was you trying to deal with the grief and the trauma.
Yeah. He said, no, Carolyn, no, I can't lock you up. I said, handcuff me, put me somewhere, somewhere just in solidation, somewhere to where I can be. I need it. He said, no. So what I did was I went into the criminal justice system and I applied to become a correctional officer.
Hmm.
Now, my cause for going into the prison system was to get an understanding of how they treat the criminals. Are they getting education, and what type of education? How are they learning new life forms while they're locked up? Why I just needed to know the process of what was going on in the prison system and what was going on behind the walls. So I became a correctional officer. I was the spokesperson for my class. I went all out to get to be the best that I could be so that I can get involved in everything prison. So they put me in segregation, which is part of the worst prisons that you can go to, because I wanted that. In there, I learned that the education that is given is from prisoner to prisoner. Man, I could have done better than that. Dude, if you wouldn't have said that, nobody would have known you've done that. Just those conversations was their education. They were trying to better each other at the crime that was committed. Okay, found that out. Then when they go in there, I know you have been sentenced. You've been sentenced. Yes. So you're supposed to go in there and serve your time. So there were times where officers, like for instance, you walk in there and chow, chow, chow. That means it's time to eat. I'd walk in there, breakfast, if it's breakfast time, lunch on my shift. I wanted to humanize them because the prison system dehumanizes them. When you say child, who eats child? The dog.
Animals. Yeah.
So they dehumanize them. Okay, found that out. Then I found out the type of foods that's given. It's not much vegetables. They're not eating healthy. So that's the process of all them starches. What does that do to your body? You got all of this. It's just bringing things down, making you sad, this, that, and another. There's nothing good cleansing you out. There's nothing happening good for a prisoner. Not saying we want good, not saying we don't want good. We want them to serve their time, whatever that is. You are not the author and the finisher of their time being served.
That's right.
So let it go. So after I found out all of that, that was my cause to keep him in. Because now you letting out somebody smarter in the murder, somebody that now would probably get more frustrated if they're denied a job or if they don't know how to fill out an application. If they're on a monitor and I got to be in a certain time, I don't have enough time to go get a job. All of these frustrations walked out of that prison with them. So yes, I asked the people at the parole board. This was my question to them. I'm all right with y'all letting him out with all of these things I just presented to you all. But my question to you is, and what I mean by that is, if that was the choice they was gonna make, I can't say no. But I'm giving you why I feel he needs to remain in there. So my last question to everyone was this. I don't know if he's seeing males. I don't know if he's seeing females. But when he gets out, he's going to have some urges. What if it's your son or daughter that's sitting across the table and he's saying, I'm going to marry her? If you'll accept that, let him out. That should be a question. And they was like, whoa, nobody asked that question before. That should always be the question. Would you welcome this person in your home? Are they ready to be released? What has changed for them to now come out? Now they don't have a full education. So that was my process of really punishing myself, because in the prison system, things happened to me too. That was not great. But I made a lot of sacrifices in my life since Trella passed that torments me and hurts me. And I see somebody for my own self, my own well being. I have a wellness coach. I don't see anything wrong with that,
Right.
because my system needs help, and it will continually need help. Because just because I'm talking and happy today, I may have a sad moment. And I tell my clients, look, if you sad and you just want to scream, I scream. If that's my release process, guess what, hey? You're not going to stop me from releasing mine. Long as I'm not hurting anyone else or causing anyone else pain, I'm going to take care of Carolyn.
Right.
And
And that came
Carolyn,
through a process of learning that it's okay to have a counselor, that even though we love Christ, he's the ultimate counselor, healer.
yes,
But it's okay to say, I need to talk to someone to
yes,
talk this out. There are ways that we've been taught recently, because in the old days, I can only imagine with my mother in law and maybe my grandparents, that was taboo, especially for people of color. You didn't have the money, the resources, and of course, you didn't go. There was an old adage that what happens here, stay here, and so individuals, like I said, continue the process of being hurt and took that to the grave. Where now we are learning that all those things, and even different things that have happened in our life, was a form of trauma, and we need to get healed from it in whatever
mhm,
way possible. We take it to the Lord, but if we need to talk to someone, if we need to get professional help, then we can do that. And so, one of the greatest things that I heard you say, Carolyn, is that you realize from all the things that's happened in your life that you have a wellness coach, that you need a wellness coach, because on those, there are days, maybe times, that you need to talk to someone. And
mhm,
one thing I've learned is that it's not appropriate or correct to say, "Oh, you're just being over dramatic or what this or that." I've learned that our feelings are valid. Your feelings are valid. I don't have the right or the authority to tell you wrong or right in your feelings, because those are you. Those are your feelings.
yeah.
And with feelings, there are different things that may trigger or that are attached to them. So
'Cause-
moving into what you're doing now.
mhm,
So Charlotte's been over 20 years. The gentleman is still incarcerated, and
yes,
life has been lifing. But
yes,
and we talked about it earlier off camera. We were talking about uh, life, and we should constantly evolve. A while back, Bishop Jakes and his daughter Sarah launched the Evolve Conference, and they are definitely onto something, because we should forever be learning and
mhm,
also evolving,
yes,
discovering who we are. Because when I look back over the 70 plus years that I've been in the earth realm, is
mhm,
that I'm constantly growing, constantly learning new things. And I often say I'm growing up. So as long as we're learning, we should be
mhm,
willing to a vessel that's willing to learn,
mhm,
new things, to do new things, because we should not want to become stagnant. Because you think about it, when water is stagnant or not moving, they tell me it starts to stink. I've seen water, bodies of
yes,
water
yes,
that have green stuff on it. I don't know if that's moss, mold, or something. When a plant is not producing, those they either chop it down and prune it, they chop it down and dig it up and throw it away, or some plants they prune. And so for us, we have to know how to walk through that process
Mhm.
of evolving, and should want to keep growing, because as long as we're growing and moving, that means God still has a purpose for us, and we're
Mhm.
constantly evolving. Because and there are times, I have to be honest, there are times when I just want to, like, no, I don't want to do anything new. I know I don't want to learn anything new. Can I just just chill out? And
Right.
Spirit will say no. And my youngest son is very verbal, and he was like, no, you need to learn to do this. What if I thankfully he got stuck in just a rotary telephone and not learning how to use technology and
Mhm.
everything that's out there. And there's so much more. I haven't even scratched the surface with what the younger people. My youngest grandchild is 20, so the things that they know. But grandma's got. I'm still trying. I'm still learning. And show me
Me
how.
too.
May take me longer. Use that one pointer finger. I've gotten better with texting, learning
Mhm.
to use these thumbs a little bit, like the younger people. So I'm trying. So now that was the old Carolyn that's been evolving and still evolving. So who is Carolyn now? Who is Carolyn now? She's evolved so much.
Carolyn now has released Trella to a different team, well, to the team that's always been working with me, so that we had a great discussion, you guys. And my team was like, Carolyn, we need for you to stop. We need for you to stop. We need for you to live, because life stopped when Trella died.
Right,
When
and you
Trella
started the Trello Foundation. That's what you
I
started.
started the Trella Foundation. I did so many things. We did the proclamation. We did Teen Dating Violence Prevention and Awareness Month for a lifetime. Uh, I've been proclamated for the work and everything that has been done for Trella and to assist and help so many others. I have learned how to support others. I've become a case manager, therapist. Uh, oh my God, I have now gotten certified in so many different mental health mental health places. Uh, oh my God, it's so much that I have done to where some people may say it's overachieving. It's not overachieving. It's just bettering myself to make sure I am the great helpmate that others need. And know to be able to have all of these different connections with different ones, so that I can use them or have them or support them in resources to others to help them. So I'm always in school. I work with mental health department here. Um, I I love children still, because I started working in a school for after school programs. I had a whole after school program in Dale Valley, I can mention it,
Mhm.
for after school children who just needed other things to do, because this all happened to my daughter after school. This happened after school. So I was trying to find things for children to do after school to keep them busy and keep them off their phones and learn new trades and learn these different things. So by the grace of God, the educational department has placed different, around the world, around the nation, where they have after school programs to assist and to be able to help children learn different things and gather even certificates and things. Now it's even growing. Children can get certificates after school in different trades and things that they're in. Um, I've also worked with the president on the education law with teen dating violence and the abuse of teens and things like that. I've worked with Safe Place. I've done lots of volunteer work. Like I said, I'm always busy,
That's
always busy.
good. That's good. Yeah. So for those of you that are watching and just maybe just hopped on, you're watching Gretchel Dixon, Let's Chat with Carolyn Mosley. In the title of the series, I call it When Life Has Changed Forever. She has taken this tragedy that happened with her daughter, turned it into a foundation, and now Carolyn herself has evolved, because one of the things I was telling her a while back when I first met Carolyn, she's like what I call, she had some rough edges. And
Mhm.
sometimes people discard rough edges. I keep hearing the Holy Spirit say there's a saying that broken crayons still color. And so, though Carolyn had the rough edges, when I met her, I saw the God in her. I saw things in her that she didn't see. And I admired her with a godly admiration of the obstacles that she overcame. She shared a little while ago about being on the crack. I didn't know about the crack, but I knew her history of being in physically abusive relationships. And as a mother, I remember you beginning to teach your daughters and those other individuals in the school system. One of the things you would say often is love does not hurt. Love does not hurt. And she shared with us that when someone's controlling, whether you're a teenager or an adult, the saying you disrespecting them by the way you dress. Because I remember the story, Carolyn, when Trella broke up with Marcus
Mm-hmm.
because of said that she was disrespecting him. He's
Mm-hmm.
a teenager. How are you gonna be respected? Child, please.
Mm-hmm.
Disrespecting him by the things that she would wear to school. And I remember she broke up with him because you taught your daughters to recognize. And so, those of you that are watching that have maybe you're in a relationship, or your son or daughter could be in one. Anytime there's control, there's some underlying causes of that could lead to violence, whether it's verbal or physical. Because verbal, the old adage that said, sticks and stone will break my bones, that words will never hurt me, that's a lie from the pit of hell. Because
Mm-hmm.
the Bible says that life and death is in the power of the tongue. So any of that are signs. And I remember Carolyn, as she was sharing with me what she taught her daughters, she taught me as well those things that I could teach. And there's a church around here that said each one reach one and each one teach one. So that she shared with me, I when I became a grandparent, I began to share that with my granddaughters to know what to expect, how to be treated. So Carolyn, you're not gone anywhere yet, but
Yeah.
you already have left a legacy, just the Trella Foundation about the teen dating violence. And then now you took your pain and now you are, and you begin to understand and learn about some of your feelings, some of the things that you experienced, and now went back to help the people, other
Right.
individuals. So we're getting ready to close, but in closing, my question is,
Mm.
what's next for Carolyn? What is Carolyn up to next? Because you've
Well,
got different degrees and certificates and all of that. So what's next for Carolyn?
let me say this first, Mom. I was able to teach my children about violence and everything because my first husband was very abusive to me. I've also lost a child in an abusive relationship. I was 7 months pregnant, and on my birthday, I was beat to a pulp. And he locked me in a room. We lived in a two-story apartment on the second level of an apartment complex. And he used to would lock me in a room when he leave because I couldn't leave. I couldn't go anywhere. If someone looked at me, it was my fault. Um, and I started seeing how controlling and isolation and these things was taking over my life. And so when he beat me that night, when he left for work, I opened that window and I threw out blankets, I threw out pillows, I threw out all the towels, I threw out clothes, and I jumped for my life. And I was walking, and I walked about 15 miles. And just so happened I was on the street where my parents lived. I was near the street where my parents lived, and my father was passing in his truck, and he saw me. And I was limping, and I was walking. And they took me to their house. And that night, early that next morning, I was taken to the hospital, and I lost my son. That was my firstborn. I was 7 months pregnant. Yes, I did. I went back. After all of that, I went back. Can't tell you why, but that's the process of breaking in a relationship. Sometimes people go back, but the thing I learned is you don't tell them you're gonna leave them before you leave them. Just leave.
That's
Don't
right.
make don't make an announcement. Don't do it. So when I finally got an opportunity to leave the second time, I was pregnant with my oldest daughter. And so I got out with my life. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm in a different place now. My feet started hurting me about 3, 4 months ago. Started hurting me really, really bad. I went to the doctor. Guess what? I had 3 toes on each foot broken. And people know me. I don't like shoes. I barely wear shoes. I wear socks all the time because my feet have always hurt me. You guys, I found out because of that jump over
Wow.
20 years ago, I've been walking with broken toes. They had healed, but they healed wrong. So I've been carrying that pain, but it got released a few days ago.
Thank you,
Well, a
Lord.
few months ago. So I was saying that to say, yes, that's why I was able to share with Trella and my oldest daughter what abuse looked like, what an unhealthy relationship looked like. And that's why Trella stepped out of that relationship because she was asked or told, I don't want you to wear a spaghetti strap shirt. Right there, that small thing caused her to let go. And that also, he killed her. But there's a way of getting out and being out safe. And she did that. He came back. He came back. So, what next for Carolyn is God is talking to me and loving on me. And I yet walk with my personal motto, which is a 4 letter word, LOVE, which means learning our values with an S, because you're very valuable every day of your life. So basically, I'm loving on myself daily, understanding myself so that I can understand others better. And I'm actually working on what God wants me to move forward in. Love Prevails.
Wow, that's good.
It's going to be called Love Prevails, the ministry that God is leading me in. And once we get it up and going, and God releases me to start it, you guys will be hearing a whole lot more about the goodness of God and how journeys are for us to be made strong.
Wow, that's good. Yes, I appreciate you so much for taking this time to share with those that are watching and in the replay. And coming in 2025, I haven't done it in a while, but Fatal Distractions conferences are getting ready to hit the road again. Carolyn has been one of the speakers. We've been to 6 cities, and that particular conference, each speaker has shared that they are a new creation in Christ, who they were before. It was designed as an encouragement that regardless of what you have gone through or going through, you still have purpose. But what you went through was just a distraction that was meant to be fatal. But God said no, because you still have purpose. So if someone wants to reach out to you, Carolyn, for other interviews or insight, how can they connect with you?
I'm going to put, okay, let me pull it up. Hold on.
Or you could just send it to me later and I can post it for
Yeah,
anyone.
let me do that because I have to pull it up and then I can send it to you and then we can go that route.
Okay. And those of you that, need to hear more about what she's doing, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm Gretchel Dixon. You can inbox me. Of course, I'm here every Tuesday night, but I just wanted to bring her on to share that because when life is changed forever, it's not the end. Sometimes it's just the beginning,
Mhm.
because we want that those things that we've been through not only to be a testimony and an encouragement to you, to know that if God brought us out, he can bring you out too.
Exactly.
So So once again, I want to thank you, Carolyn, for being on. You know, Pop and I love you so much.
I love
And
you.
I love, of course, the Trello Foundation and the awareness, even for me, that I've learned about just life through you, Carolyn. You've been a huge blessing to me, and I'm thankful. So that's it for tonight, guys. Enjoy your week and stay tuned. Who knows what's next with
Who
Gretchel Dixon?
knows?
Let's chat. Have a great evening. Thank you, guys.